Hi everyone and welcome back to Style with Substance. I wanted to make this really quick video as to why I think now is a really good time to buy a house, particularly if you're a first-time buyer. And this was kind of inspired by conversations I've been having with some really good friends of mine and just some bits and pieces I've been seeing in the media and what I've been seeing of the house market as things stand. So if you want to hear my reasons as to why I think now is a good time to get on the property ladder, please keep watching. So this video is particularly dedicated to my UK viewers because obviously I live in the UK and I can really only comment on the UK housing market. If you're US based, I'm sure there's loads of videos out there that kind of talk about what state the market is in at the moment, but I'm going to be focusing solely on the UK. So the first number one reason I think now is a good time to get on the property ladder is because of house prices. Now if you are on the market for a new house or you're looking to buy for the first time, you'll see that prices for property, particularly in London, are really expensive. Now, coming from my own experience, I know when I was looking just over a year and a half ago, the prices were a lot more reasonable than they are now. And this goes for even property outside of London. So when I look at properties in my local area that are being built from new, like built from scratch, I wouldn't, if I was buying now on the budget that I had back then, I wouldn't be able to afford to even live outside of London. And generally, property prices will kind of go through fluctuations, but at the moment they are on the rise. So if you think that saving more might be a better way to kind of have a bigger deposit, by the time you've saved more, if the house prices continue rising at the rate that they have been, your deposit will still get you the same kind of house because the prices are continuing to go up. So even if you have a bigger deposit, you'll have a bigger deposit for not as good a property as you want to have it for. So say for example you're looking at a house for £200,000 and you want to put down a £30,000 deposit. So let's say you've got £10,000 now and you say, all right, let me spend another year raising an extra £20,000 deposit. Say that takes you another year. By the time that year has come, that house has gone up in value by approximately 50k. So already you've kind of missed out on, you know, A, being in the house and having the sort of value go up while you're in it and releasing more equity, and B, you might be completely priced out of that house and you might need to spend more time raising even more of a deposit. So my point there, as hard as it was to illustrate, is basically that don't wait until you have a bigger deposit. Try and get on the ladder now for something that you feel like you could maybe do up, or for something that's maybe slightly smaller, or just kind of look to other sources to raise the funds that you need to get in that house now, because prices are only going to continue to go up and faster than the rate that you're saving at, depending on how you're saving, okay? Reason number two is because of government schemes. The government in the UK is providing a lot of help for first-time buyers, mainly through the Help to Buy scheme. Now, I wanted to kind of explain a little bit more about this in detail because I think there's a bit of confusion around Help to Buy. I think everyone thinks Help to Buy is one thing, whereas there are two different strands of the Help to Buy scheme. So number one is the equity loan scheme. So this is where the government says, right, all you have to raise is a 5% deposit. We will raise a 20% deposit for you and give that up front, and then you have a mortgage for about 75%, which is fantastic, and you get a great mortgage rate. However, you have to pay back that 20% deposit that the government lent you within 5 years. If you pay it back within that 5 years, you don't pay any interest on it. If you don't, then you begin to start paying interest on it. So it's a great way to have a good mortgage rate to start with, but there is that extra repayment to the government that you have to be making. So initially, the government will kind of own that 20% of your home until you've paid back that money. That's the equity loan scheme. Now, the mortgage guarantee scheme is what really helped me and my fiance out when we were looking. We went for the mortgage guarantee scheme, which is basically the government allows you to get a 95% mortgage. 95%, so all you put up is 5% still, but you get a 95% mortgage, no equity or anything like that to pay back to anyone. It's just a normal mortgage, but with a 5% deposit. And they were allowing that on new builds, on pre-owned homes. That's what we got. So essentially, it's like a normal mortgage, but your deposit is 5%. To me, that is a no-brainer. Okay, it might so happen that your interest rate that you're paying back the money on is a little bit higher. Let's say you're tied in for a 2-year fixed rate mortgage. After that 2 years and you've paid off a little bit of your house, you go back down to a normal and reasonable, not reasonable, a normal rate. So let's say you start out on a 4.99% interest rate, you might go back down to, I don't know, a 3% interest rate. So for me, of the two schemes, the mortgage guarantee scheme makes the most sense because the house is still yours, like it's your mortgage fully, like the government doesn't have a stake in it in any way. And that is the difference between the two. The Help to Buy scheme as a whole is coming to a close in December 2016. So at the end of this year, that scheme will no longer be available. So those two strands of it won't be available. The government might bring back in something slightly different to help first-time buyers, but it might not. So I think that's why this year, 2016, is a really great year to get on the property ladder if that is something that you're looking to do. The third reason is because, for me, once you are on the property ladder, with house prices rising the way that they are right now, you could start to get a lot of equity built up in your home really quickly. I'll give an example. So when we bought our house, it was worth 200,000. A year on, it's worth 250,000. So within 1 year, your house has gone up by like 50k in value, which is absolutely fantastic. And that is how house prices are going at the moment. Why that benefits you as a buyer is that you're starting to build up more equity in your home. And say you went to go and sell your home on to buy something else, you can use that equity as a deposit for another place, or you can use it to do up your house, or you can just keep it in your house until you very much sell it and you decide to move on to somewhere else or to somewhere smaller and you have a bit of extra income. So I mean, those are three fantastic reasons as to why now is a better time than any time to get on the property ladder. But obviously it's a decision that you can't take lightly and you have to put a lot of careful consideration into. So I would advise, if you're really interested in buying right now, that you first of all go and speak to an independent financial advisor, get an understanding of your financial situation and what that will allow you to do in terms of what kind of house you buy and what you can afford and what kind of mortgage packages are available to you. And then start looking, because houses are coming up every day. It's very much a seller's market, but that means that there's more choice of buyers, yes, so there's a lot of competition, but there are also a lot more houses coming on the market, particularly around this time of year. We've got about 5 different letters from estate agents telling us to put a house on the market. Obviously they don't know we only moved in a year ago, but January is the time that people tend to start thinking about putting their houses on the market. So get looking, get talking to a financial advisor, understand your financial situation and really make the jump. It's the best decision I ever made in my life, and it totally changed my life as well. So I'm really happy I bought when I did, and I think 2016 is definitely the year for people to get on the property ladder, particularly first-time buyers. I hope you've really enjoyed this video. It was a really quick one, but one I felt like I really needed to make. I have 2 other videos on buying property, which you can find on my channel. If not, just let me know and I'll pop you over the link in the comments box. Comment down below if you're looking to buy a house or if you have any questions, and I'll do whatever I can to help or refer you to the right website that can help you a bit better than me maybe. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below if you are looking to buy a house soon and I can answer any questions for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest, Facebook, so I'll link all my links down below, but I'm mostly on Instagram if I'm honest. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!